Welcome to my channel. I often find that as we grow older, the world seems to get louder. News, phones, traffic, even our own thoughts never stop buzzing. But over the years, I've learned that silence isn't something to fear, it's something to cherish. In silence, we can finally hear ourselves again. I remember the first time I sat alone on my porch. No television, no background music, just the hum of the wind. It was strange at first, almost uncomfortable. Yet the more I stayed still, the more I realized how peaceful it felt. Silence gave me back the part of myself that I had lost in the rush of everyday life. Many people think solitude equals loneliness, but that's not true. Loneliness is an emptiness that hurts. Solitude is a fullness that heals. When we choose to spend time alone, we create space for reflection, creativity, and gratitude. Seniors in particular can find tremendous comfort in moments of quiet, where the heart can rest and the mind can breathe. I've found that spending time alone doesn't make me feel isolated. It makes me feel connected to life in a deeper way. There's wisdom in stillness that constant noise can never offer. Learning to be comfortable with your own company is one of the greatest gifts of aging. Silence also has incredible effects on our health. Studies show that quiet environments lower blood pressure, reduce anxiety, and even support better brain function. When we cut back on noise, our bodies relax naturally. The heart beats slower, breathing becomes calmer, and the nervous system settles into balance. I've experienced it firsthand, how a few minutes of peaceful breathing in the morning can change the tone of my whole day. Seniors often carry decades of stress, responsibilities, and memories. Silence gives our bodies the reset they deserve. It's a medicine we don't have to buy, just embrace. When we practice solitude, we also become more mindful. I started taking daily walks without any distractions. No phone, no music, just nature and my thoughts. At first, my mind raced with worries and to-do lists. But then, the sound of the leaves and the rhythm of my footsteps began to slow everything down. I started noticing small things. A bird landing nearby, the smell of fresh air, the warmth of sunlight. These moments of awareness are where mindfulness begins. They bring us back from our past regrets and future anxieties into the calm of the present moment. As we age, solitude also allows us to process our memories with more compassion. Many seniors struggle with regrets or what-ifs that echo through their minds. Silence helps us make peace with them. Sitting quietly with our past doesn't mean we're stuck there. It means we're brave enough to understand it. I've often sat in silence, remembering both my mistakes and my joys, and somehow both began to feel lighter. The quiet gives those emotions space to transform from pain into acceptance. It's not always easy, but it's healing. There's another powerful benefit to embracing stillness: clarity. When we reduce external noise, we begin to see what truly matters. Decisions become easier, relationships become clearer, and priorities align naturally. I used to fill my schedule with activities because I feared boredom. But I've learned that clarity doesn't come from being busy. It comes from being quiet. Seniors often discover that less truly is more when it comes to time and energy. Silence helps us choose what's meaningful and release what's not. Silence can also improve our relationships. It may sound strange, but spending time alone actually helps us connect with others more deeply. When we know ourselves better, we bring a calmer, kinder presence into every conversation. I've noticed that after a quiet morning, I listen more patiently and speak more thoughtfully. That sense of inner peace radiates outward. Relationships thrive not on constant talk, but on mutual understanding. And silence teaches us how to listen again. Many of us grew up believing that being productive meant always doing something. Retirement can feel unsettling when that constant motion stops. But solitude teaches us that stillness is not the absence of living. It's the essence of it. In quiet moments, we can enjoy life without rushing through it. Whether it's sipping tea by the window, meditating for 10 minutes, or simply watching the sunset, stillness helps us savor life as it unfolds. That's a different kind of productivity. The productivity of peace. Of course, finding silence in a noisy world isn't always easy. We're surrounded by constant notifications, chatter, and distractions. Creating a quiet space may require intentional choices. Turning off the TV, setting aside your phone, or saying no to unnecessary noise. I've turned my living room into a small sanctuary with soft lighting, gentle scents, and no background sounds. It's where I recharge after a long day. Even a few minutes of quiet every day can have a remarkable impact. Solitude also deepens our spiritual connection. Whether you pray, meditate, or simply sit in reflection, silence opens a door to something larger than ourselves. I often find that in stillness, I feel closest to the divine. Not through words, but through presence. There's something sacred about simply being, without having to do or prove anything. That awareness can bring tremendous comfort to seniors who may be facing loss or uncertainty. Silence becomes a reminder that we are never truly alone. For those who have lost a partner or dear friend, solitude can be bittersweet. The quiet can remind us of absence, but it can also hold memories like gentle whispers. I've learned to fill silence with gratitude instead of sorrow. When I sit quietly and think of my late friends, I feel their love in the stillness around me. It's as if silence carries their presence in a way that words never could. This is how solitude turns grief into grace. One of the most practical ways to embrace stillness is through daily rituals. I like to start my mornings with 5 minutes of breathing, followed by writing a few lines in my journal. These small habits create rhythm and comfort. They remind me that peace isn't found outside of us. It's built, one moment at a time. Seniors can create their own rituals, whether it's gardening in silence, taking slow walks, or simply sitting with a cup of tea. The consistency helps calm both body and mind. Embracing silence also teaches us to be selective about what we consume. Media, conversations, and even environments affect our emotional state. When we limit negative noise, gossip, alarming news, endless scrolling, we protect our mental health. I started choosing quiet reading or nature sounds instead of television drama, and I noticed an incredible difference. My thoughts became lighter, my mood more stable. Seniors can benefit greatly from curating peaceful inputs instead of constant stimulation. Stillness can also spark creativity. I've written some of my best reflections after long, silent afternoons. When our minds aren't overloaded, new ideas begin to flow effortlessly. Seniors often discover hidden talents in retirement because silence gives their imagination space to bloom. Whether it's painting, gardening, or storytelling, solitude nurtures creativity like sunlight nurtures flowers. It's amazing what our minds can create when we finally stop to listen. Another aspect of silence is emotional strength. The world may try to pull us into its noise and hurry, but those who master calmness stand firm. When you can sit peacefully in stillness, very little can shake you. I used to react quickly to stress, but now I pause, breathe, and let silence guide my response. This inner steadiness is something every senior can cultivate. It's a strength that grows deeper with time. The quieter the spirit, the stronger it becomes. Some people avoid silence because it feels uncomfortable at first. They fear what they might hear inside. But silence doesn't expose us. It heals us. It teaches us to face our thoughts gently, to understand them instead of escaping them. Over time, what once felt scary becomes comforting. I've learned that the silence we avoid is often the silence we need most. That's where transformation begins. Solitude also allows gratitude to flourish. When the world quiets down, we start noticing simple blessings. A warm blanket, the sound of rain, the smile of a neighbor. Gratitude grows in peaceful soil. It changes how we see aging, turning what we've lost into appreciation for what remains. I've learned that peace isn't about having everything. It's about noticing everything that's already here. Silence sharpens that awareness beautifully. In the stillness, we also reconnect with nature. The chirping of birds, the rustle of leaves, the rhythm of waves. All of these are reminders that silence isn't empty. It's full of life. Nature teaches us that there's beauty in quiet growth. Seniors can find immense joy in simply being outdoors, watching life move at its natural pace. The earth itself is never in a rush, and maybe we don't need to be either. Over time, practicing silence and solitude shapes the way we live. We become more intentional, kinder, and calmer. The noise of the world may still surround us, but it no longer controls us. We learn that true freedom isn't about doing everything, it's about needing less. For seniors, this is a priceless realization. Peace is not a destination, but a way of living. It starts right where you are, in this very moment of each quiet become moment. Thanks for watching. If you found comfort or inspiration in these words, I encourage you to explore your own moments of stillness. Take time for yourself, not out of loneliness, but out of love. Embrace silence as your companion, and you'll find that even in the busiest world, peace is always within reach. Remember, simplicity is not about having less. It's about making room for what truly matters. Stay gentle, stay mindful, and let the quiet lead you home.